Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Charitāmrita audio class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuromilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Padam Dadati Svapadantikam Vande Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnava Sagraja Sagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Vinadha Krishna Pada Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are discussing from Chaitanya Charitāmrita. We are on Madhya lila and we are discussing chapter 9. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's travels to South India. So far, Mahaprabhu has traveled to hundreds of places, and last time we discussed Mahaprabhu, he was at Udupi. He reaches Udupi, and before that, we heard how Mahaprabhu he went to so many different places, and ultimately he reached this beautiful temple of Udupi Krishna, and there he Srila Prabhupada, he describes, first of all, he describes how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found this Brahma Samhita, copied Brahma Samhita, and then he traveled to so many places, ultimately reaches Sringeri Mutt, and Srila Prabhupada describes the history of Shankaracharya, and then he reaches Udupi. And Srila Prabhupada, he describes in the purport of this 245th verse, we have discussed till 244th verse. So in 245th verse, Kaviraj Goswami describes how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reaches this Udupi, and Udupi is a place where the beautiful deity of Krishna is there. And that deity and that place is dedicated to worship of this Udupi Krishna, and the prominent acharya there was Madhvacharya. And the philosophers, the Madhva philosophers, they were called as Tattvavadis because they were more into Jnana. So Mahaprabhu, he saw the deity of Udupi Krishna, he went into ecstasy and danced and chanted. Srila Prabhupada describes about the life of Madhvacharya. He was born near Udupi in a place called as Pazaka Kshetra, and he took birth in the Shivali Brahmana dynasty, and the father was Madhya Geha Hatta. So Prabhupada gives a brief biography. He says, when he was born, he was known as a small child as Vasudev. And he had wonderful, amazing powers. One day, as a small child, he was crying. Mother was not there. And father was not there. Mother was taking care of the child. And then she had to go out for some time. So she just brought something to eat and placed in front of this small boy, and she left. Nearby, there was a huge bag of black, horse gram. It was kept. This child became hungry. He started crying. He ate everything, and then he went to this big sack of black gram. He ate entire sack of grains, that grams. When mother she returned, she was shocked. When he little bit became grown up as a small child, his father, one time he was in a debt, huge debt. And this person, he came at the house of Madhya Bhatt and he was telling, unless you give me my money back, I am not going to leave and I will die here. I'll fast till you give me my money. And he was a Brahmin. So Madhya Bhatt, he was anxious and in anxiety, what to do now? He didn't have any money. He was a poor Brahmin. So this small child Vasudev asked, what happened, my father? The father, he told, he have to give some money and this person is not going. As a small child, Vasudev, he went in the backyard. There was a huge tamarind tree. He got the seeds of the tamarind tree and he gave to this person. And he said, this should be sufficient for your debt. And the person was surprised. What is this, small child? You are giving me tamarind seeds. I owe a lot of money to your father. As soon as the child placed this tamarind seeds in the hand of this person, it transformed. All these seeds got transformed into golden coins. And he was shocked. That was the power of Vasudev, small Madhvacharya. One day a python came in the courtyard of Madhya Bhatt. And it was a huge python. Actually, there was a demon named Maniman. He was moving around in the form of this python. Small child Vasudev, he just crushed that python with his great toe. As a small child, he was so powerful, even as a child. When he grew up a little bit, he would go out to play with his friends. And as soon as his mother would call him, wherever he is, he would jump and reach home immediately. That was the power of Madhvacharya because he is son of Vayudev. So he would reach immediately as soon as his mother would call. At the age of 12, he wanted to take sannyas. Parents, they were not agreeing. They were not allowing him to go. And it was huge hue and cry. Mother was crying, and your father was crying. Father was pleading. At one point of time, he fell at the feet of Madhvacharya, small Vasudev. He said, I beg you, please don't leave. Vasudev said, well, a father never falls at the feet of son. He falls at the feet of his son only in one condition, when the son is sannyasi. Now, because you are falling in my feet, that means it is an indication that I should take sannyas. He was not ready to stay. And his father said, if you go, who will take care of us? You are the only child. After a long time worshipping the Lord, we have received you. And he said, if only you would have another son, we would have allowed you to go. Madhvacharya said, okay, I will not go till the time I get a brother. And just in the next 1 year, they had another son. And Madhvacharya, at the age of 12, he left. He took sannyas from Achyuta Preksha and he became Purna Pragya Tirtha Swami. Then he was traveling all over the place. There was one very powerful Mayavadi scholar, Vidyashankar. He was defeated by Madhvacharya. And he had amazing powers. he wanted to meet Vyasadeva directly. Vyasadeva doesn't live in ordinary Himalaya. He lives in greater Himalaya, in the greater Badri, not of this India. So Madhvacharya, he jumped from this Himalaya all the way to the greater Himalayas and met this Vyasadeva. And Madhvacharya had written a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. He showed him his commentary and got approval of Vyasadeva. Then he was returning from Badrikashram. He went to a place called Anandamath, and there Madhvacharya finished his commentary on Bhagavad Gita. And there was another disciple who was a constant companion, later became disciple. His name was Satyatirtha. He wrote down and copied the entire commentary of Bhagavad Gita, written by Madhvacharya. So when Madhvacharya returned from Badrikashram, he went to a place called Ganjama, which was on the bank of the river Godavari. And there he met two powerful scholars, Shobhana Bhatta and Swami Shastri. They were Mayavadi scholars. They debated with Madhvacharya, and Madhvacharya defeated both of them. And they became the disciples of Madhvacharya. Padmanabh Tirtha and Narhari Tirtha. And that's how he was really becoming famous all over India. One time he was there on the bank of ocean, and he saw a boat struggling. It was caught in the storm. There's lots of mud also in the ocean at one place. Madhvacharya, he helped this person to just take his boat out of that storm, and then he just waved his chadar and the storm went away. This person, he became so grateful. And he said, what do you want? I can give you anything. I'm carrying this huge loads of salt, and I'm carrying lots of valuable things. I can give you anything. Madhvacharya said, I don't want any of this. Where are you coming from? This person said, I'm coming from Dwarka, and I'm carrying this huge loads of Gopi Chandan also, because Dwarka, this is famous for Gopi Chandan. So Madhvacharya said, okay, I don't want anything. Can you give me this Gopi Chandan? Because this Gopi Chandan, he had just kept two huge loads, boulders of Gopi Chandan just to balance the weight of the salt. So he said, okay, anyways, I don't need this. It was a very heavy block of Gopi Chandan. He gave that Gopi Chandan block to Madhvacharya. As soon as the block of Chandan was kept on the ground, it broke open. And from inside appeared the beautiful deity of Udupi Krishna. The deity was personally made by Rukmini Devi. And it was a form of Bala Gopal, a small child Krishna going to herd the cows with a rope in one hand to tie the feet of the cows, two legs of the cows, and a herding stick. And around that, the entire Gaur Vilas is there. So many things are there carved in that stone. And Madhvacharya was very happy to see this beautiful deity. So that deity traveled all the way from Dwarka to Udupi. And this deity was so heavy that 30 men were not able to just lift that deity. But Madhvacharya, he was not just powerful scholar, not just wonderful first class pure devotee, he was physically also very strong. Single-handedly, he picked up that deity and placed in a small temple which they had made. And he started worship of the deities. He divided his disciples into 8 mathas, 8 sannyasi disciples. He made them the acharya of the 8 monasteries. And they are, since then, regularly, by turn, they are worshipping the deity. They have a paryaya of 2 years. One time, Madhvacharya was crossing a river in the Ganga Pradesh, and it was a place of conflict between Hindus and Muslims. And everyone was telling, don't go on the other side. But he didn't care. He crossed the river, and then the guards, the Muslim soldiers, they caught, arrested Madhvacharya, brought him in front of the king. As soon as the king saw this effulgent sannyasi, he was just mesmerized. He was very pleased. And he just told, just release this sannyasi. And he said, I want to give you something. I can give you anything you want. I can give you kingdoms. I can give you money. But Madhvacharya said, I don't want anything. Can you just help me cross this river, cross this place? So this Muslim king, he sent his soldiers and they took this Madhvacharya safely across that region. As they passed that place, there was a huge dark forest. Madhvacharya and Satyatirtha, they both were there walking. And a ferocious tiger attacked Satyatirtha. And Satyatirtha was crying for help. Madhvacharya personally, with his own strength, he removed that, separated that tiger from Satyatirtha and protected him. That was the power of Madhvacharya. Physically also very powerful. Then Madhvacharya, he met Vyasadeva again. He received a deity of Shaligram Shila called Ashtamurti. Then after returning, he wrote a very, very wonderful commentary on Mahabharata called as Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnay. Slowly, the devotion and scholarship of Madhvacharya spread all over India. Everybody came to know about this great scholar and sannyasi and the powerful devotee. Some of the scholars of Shankaracharya line, they became really disturbed, anxious. There was one follower called as Pundarika Puri. He came before Madhvacharya and he challenged him to debate. Madhvacharya very easily defeated him. There was another personality called as Trivikrama Acharya. He was a resident of a place called as Vishnu Mangal. He became disciple of Madhvacharya. His son, who later became Narayana Acharya. Narayana Acharya is a personality who wrote a biography of Madhvacharya and it was named as Madhva Vijay. Very elaborate biography of Madhvacharya is written there. In bodily strength, Madhvacharya was unparalleled. There was a very, very powerful personality. His name was Caitanya. He had the strength of 30 men. And he challenged Madhvacharya. There were a few other people who challenged. So Madhvacharya said, okay, I'll accept defeat if you can stop me glorifying the Lord. And he started singing the glories of the Lord. And two very, very powerful people, they started strangling Madhvacharya. And they could not stop Madhvacharya from singing the glories of the Lord. With all their power, they were just pressing the neck, but still they could not do anything. This Caitanya, she was also puffed up. Madhvacharya said, okay, I'll accept defeat if you can move my big toe away from the ground. He just placed his toe on the ground and he asked this Kadanjari that you separate it from the ground. With all his strength, he could not move the toe of Madhvacharya off the ground. That was the bodily strength of Madhvacharya. Very unique personality. Madhvacharya passed from this world at the age of 80. As he was writing a commentary on Aitareya Upanishad, he left this world. And the Acharyas of the Madhva Sampradaya, they established this Udupi Krishna as a center of the Math, chief center, and it is called as Uttaradi Math. And around that Uttaradi Math, there are 8 other monasteries. Prabhupada gives the name of all these monasteries and the presiding gurus of that monastery. Sode Math, it was headed by Vishnu Tirtha Swami. Krishnapur Math, Janardhan Tirtha Swami. Kanur Math, Vamana Tirtha. Admar Math, Narsimha Tirtha. Puttugi Math, Upendra Tirtha. Shirur Math, Rama Tirtha. Padimar Math, Rishikesha Tirtha. And Pejawar Math, Akshobhaya Tirtha. So these are the 8 prominent acharyas of these 8 maths established by Madhvacharya. And then Prabhupada gives a list of all the disciples up to current few generations. So that was the glory of Madhvacharya. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued his journey. From there, as he was there at, before continuing his journey, something interesting happened. Now Mahaprabhu has reached Udupi. He saw the beautiful deity of Udupi Krishna and was really amazed, surprised, danced in ecstasy and chanted the glories. All the devotees, they became attracted. Kaviraj Goswami describes about the deity. This deity, he appeared in the dream, and somehow Madhvacharya acquired that deity when it came from Dwarka on a boat and installed the deity. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he saw the beautiful darshan of this deity, was so very happy. And because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was dressed as a Mayavadi sannyasi, because he had taken sannyas in Madhva Sampradaya, Shankara Sampradaya, no shikha, and he was not wearing any thread, ekdanda. So these Tattvavadis, they mistook that maybe he is a Mayavadi sannyasi. Nobody would talk to him. But then when they saw this beautiful dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in front of the Lord, they understood that he is a great Vaishnava. They gave a wonderful reception to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could understand that these Tattvavadis, they were very proud of their Vaishnavism. And the Lord doesn't like anyone to be proud of their devotion or any material qualifications. It is not pleasing to the Lord. Because ultimately a devotee, he or she cannot be but humble. As soon as one develops connection with the Lord, he realizes that nothing belongs to me. Everything is coming by the mercy of the Lord. So he's naturally very humble. In the case of Vamana Dev and Bali Maharaj, Vamana Dev tells a person who has received the mercy of the Lord, he will not be proud even after he receives all the wealth and opulences of the world. all the beauty, all the strength, all the fame, power, it will not make a person proud. Only a person who has received the mercy of the Lord, he can resist the temptations of this mundane fame. Otherwise, it is so very easy to get enamored. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted to destroy the pride of all these Tattvavadis. He started talking to these Tattvavadis. The chief acharya of these Tattvavadis, he came in front and he started discussing the various philosophical aspects of their line. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very humbly, he asked, Sadhya sadhana amina jani bhalamate, sadhya sadhana sreshta janaho amate. Oh great Acharya, I don't know sadhya and sadhan. What is the goal of life and what is the way to achieve that goal? Can you please tell me very clearly? Sadhya sadhana sreshta janaha amate. What is the best ideal for humanity and how to achieve that? So the chief of this Madhya Sampradaya, he starts speaking. आचार्य कहे वर्णाश्रम धर्म कृष्ण कर्मार्पण यही है कृष्ण भक्तिर श्रेष्ठ साधन. So that Acharya said varnashram and Krishna karmarpan. You do your occupational duties very properly according to the varna and ashrama and then give the results to Krishna. So basically he is telling practice karma and ultimately offer the results to Krishna, Varnashram. Panchavidha bhakti, Panchavidha mukti paya Vaikuntha gaman, Sadhya sreshta hai ei shastra nirupan. When one dedicates all the duties of Varnashram to Krishna, ultimately one receives the 5 kinds of liberation. Panchavidha mukti paya Vaikuntha gaman. A person who practices Varnashram, ultimately he can achieve Vaikuntha. And this is the verdict of all the revealed scriptures. Sadhya sreshta hoye, ei shastra nirupan. This is the sadhya, the going to Vaikuntha. That is the highest goal. And the sadhan is Varnashram. Follow Varnashram, you will go to Vaikuntha. That is the highest sadhan. So that is what Acharya said. Mahaprabhu, he asks, well, according to the verdict of all the scriptures, hearing and chanting, they are the best means to achieve love of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada writes, Tattvavadi established the execution of the principles of Varnashram for the sake of Krishna is the best way to attain the topmost goal. So for Tattvavadis, this Varnashram, it is the ultimate way to achieve the topmost goal. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, he differed. He said no. Hearing and chanting is the ultimate sadhan. It is not Varnashram. See, Prabhupada writes, according to Tattvavadis, the highest goal is returning home, back to Godhead. But in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's opinion, highest goal is attaining love of Godhead, either in the material world or in the spiritual world. This is very, very important and a very, very clear concept which all of us should understand. What is the main goal of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya? It is not going back to spiritual world. It is to develop love of God. Krishna Prem. We never say ultimate goal is going back to Godhead. Ultimate goal is to develop Krishna Prem. And does not matter where one is, either in the material world or in the spiritual world. The ultimate goal is to develop Krishna prema. Because ultimately, bhakti is not dependent on the time, place, circumstances. Anyone, anywhere can develop love for Krishna. Ihayasya harer dasya karmana manasa gira nikhilashvapi avasthasu jivan mukta sauchyate. Wherever you may be situated, if we offer our mind, words, and body in service of Krishna, Jivan Mukta is liberated. Because ultimately, if somebody is practicing bhakti with a desire to get liberated, that is still a desire. A devotee is not interested in liberation. Salokya, Sarishti, Samipya, Sarupya, Ekatvam, Apyuta, Dhiyamanam na grananti vinamat sevanam jana. Kapil Dev is telling to his mother, my devotees, they are not interested in any type of liberation. They are only interested in service. Service attracts a devotee. Doesn't matter where he is practicing bhakti. Devotee is interested only in seva, not in any other thing. So all these Tattvavadis, their goal was Vaikuntha. Our goal is not Vaikuntha or Goloka. Our goal is Krishna Prema. Wherever Krishna wants to keep us, we will stay there. Narayan Para Sarve Na Kutashchana Bipyati Swarga Apavarga Narkeshu Apitulyartha Darshanam. For a devotee of the Lord, Swarga, Narka, Apavarga, it is all same. He is interested only in seva. If seva is not there, I don't want. So that is the ultimate understanding of Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So that's what Prabhupada emphasizes. For Tattvavadis, the highest goal is to go back home, back to garden. For Gaudiya Vaishnavas, in Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's opinion, the ultimate goal is to develop love for Krishna, either in the material world or in the spiritual world. And for that end, the way is Navavidha Bhakti. Mahaprabhu quotes these two verses from Prahlad Maharaj's instructions to Hiranyakashipu. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Pada Sevanam, Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam, Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu, Bhaktischainava Lakshanam, Kriyeta Bhagavatyadha Tanmanne Dhitam Uttamam. All these 9 limbs, iti pumsa arpita Vishnu, anybody who offers all these 5 limbs, Shravanam, hearing, Kirtanam, chanting, Vishnu Smaranam, remembering the Lord, Pada Sevanam, worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord, Archanam, worshipping the Lord, deity, Vandanam, glorifying the Lord, Dasyam, being in the mood of servant, Sakhyam, as a friend, Atma Nivedanam, surrendering everything. Iti Pumsar Pita Vishnu, Bhaktische Navalakshanam. These are the 9 ways to attain love of God. Kriyeta Bhagavati Adha Tanmanye Adhitam Uttamam. This is the best way. Prahlad Maharaj is telling. So Mahaprabhu says, you are telling that Varnashram is the best way. All the acharyas, they don't agree to it. Shramana Kirtan Hoite Krishna Hoye Prema. Sei Panchama Purusharth, Sei Panchar Purusharth, Purusharthir Sima. Shravana Kirtana, if you do hearing and chanting, you will get Krishna Prem. And that Krishna Prem is the Pancham Purushartha. Dharma Artha Kama Moksha, they are the ordinary Purusharthas of the world. But a devotee is not interested in any of this. He is interested in Panchama Purushartha. That is Krishna Prem. Prabhupada writes, Dharma Artha Kama Moksha, it is a general definition of success. In the world, if somebody can live a dharmic life and get lots of wealth, enjoy life, and ultimately merge into Brahman. That is a success. But according to the strict principles mentioned in the Vedas, highest attainment is not mukti. Highest attainment is love of God, prema. And that is possible by Shravanam and Kirtanam. And in fact, this mukti, it is rejected. Dharma praujita kaitavatra paramo. All this dharma, artha, kama, moksha is actually rejected in the Bhagavatam. Right in the beginning of the Bhagavatam, it is rejected. What to speak of mukti? Mukti is not in question only. Prabhupada writes, according to Sridhar Swami, the material conception of success, moksha, is desired by those in material existence. Your moksha, those who are materially contaminated, they have this material intelligence. They think moksha, that is the best. After dharma, artha, kama, moksha. But the devotee is not interested in moksha because seva is not there. Diyamanam na grihananti vina mat sevanam jana. Because it is the highest, it is the topmost cheating going on. In the Vedas, this mukti is a cheating. तार मध्य मोक्षवांछा कैटव प्रधान यहाँ होते कृष्ण भक्ति होय अंतर्धान. कबीराज गोस्वामी writes, mokshavancha kaitava pradhan. Kaitava means cheating religion. And moksha is the topmost cheating religion. Because you will not get Krishna prema. Yaha hoite Krishna bhakti hoy antardhan. There's a conversation going on between Mukti Devi and a devotee. A devotee is absorbed in meditating on the Lord, chanting the names of the Lord, and Mukti Devi comes, suddenly appears in front of the devotee, and devotee opens his eyes and sees that a lady is standing. Katva, who are you? Mukti upagatasmi bhavati. I am Mukti Devi. Kasmada kasmadiyo piha. How come suddenly you have come here? Swam Krishna Deva Smaranena Bhavato Dasi Padam Prapita. You are a devotee of Krishna, have become your Dasi. That is the natural outcome. Dure Tishta Managanagasi. Oh, abominable ones, stay away. The Mukti Mataji gets shocked. Mukti Devi. Katham Kuryadanariyamai. What wrong I have done? I am coming to serve you, and you are giving me all bad words. Tvat Gandhan Rasale Pasya. Just by your fragrance, my desire to serve Krishna will go away. So devotee is not interested. Yaha hoite Krishna bhakti hoy antardhan. A person who is chanting the names of the Lord, he is always in ecstasy. Mahaprabhu quotes another verse from 11th canto. The ecstatic symptoms of a devotee. Evam vratasva priyanama kirtya jata nurago dhruchachitta uchai hasatyathara udatirauti gayan nunmadavanrityati lokabahya. Evam vratasva priyanama kirtya. A person who is always absorbed in hearing and chanting the names of Krishna, jata anuraga, his faith, his attachment has risen. You know what he does? His faith has risen in Nama Kirtya, in chanting the names of the Lord. Jata Nurago Drutachitta Uchai. Drutachitta, he is agitated always. The names of the Lord creates turmoil in the heart. All the emotions are churned out. Just like the gopis. Whenever Krishna plays the flute, leave everything. The gopis, they leave everything and run towards Krishna, almost disturbed. Completely disturbed, not almost, completely disturbed. Agitated by the feelings of devotion. Jata nurago drutachitta uchai hasati Rodati, Gayati, Uchay. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Uchay Hasati, Uchay Rodati, Uchay Gayati, Uchay Unmadvan Nityati. He very loudly laughs sometimes. Sometimes he loudly cries. Sometimes he sings. Sometimes he starts dancing wildly. Lokabahya does not consider what people will think about me. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes a beautiful bhajan. Kabe navadvipe suradhuni tate gaur nityananda bholi nishkapate nachiya gaya berai ko chute namero hate te dhivadika. When will I chant the names of the Lord? When will I sing and dance in ecstasy without caring for all the other people? That is a devotee. So Mahaprabhu is telling that when one chants the names of the Lord, one gets Krishna prema. And then he condemns karma. First he describes the ultimate goal. You are telling Varnashram? No. Varnashram is not the ultimate goal. You are telling Vaikuntha is the ultimate goal. Vaikuntha is not the ultimate goal. Krishna prema is the ultimate goal. And then he condemns karma. Varnashram means karma. Doing the karma and offering the results to Krishna. Thakur says, no. Karma ninda, karma tyaga, sarva shastra kohe, karma hoite prema bhakti, Krishna kabu nahe. Karma ninda and karma tyaga. All the scriptures are telling, just renounce all the work. They are condemning all the fruitive activities. Because by all these fruitive activities, one cannot attain Krishna. Karma hoite prema bhakti, Krishna kabu nahe. You cannot attain love of God by karma. Prabhupada writes, in the Vedic literatures, there are three divisions: Karma Kand, Jnana Kand, and Upasana Kand. Karma means working and offering the results to Krishna. Of course, enjoying also the results and then offering something to Krishna. That's the beginning. Jnana means you develop knowledge about the Brahman. Upasana means bhakti yoga. One cannot attain love of God by karma and jnana. Only bhakti can give love of God. By karma yoga, ultimately, the mind gets purified. By jnana yoga, one becomes free from all the mental concoctions. Who is God? What is Supreme Lord? One gets free from all the mental conceptions. And all these things, they ultimately take one to a spiritual platform. With a purified mind and purified mental conceptions, one can rise to the spiritual platform. But that is not the goal. The goal is to develop love of God. And that is possible only by association of devotees and practicing bhakti yoga. You cannot practice bhakti yoga alone. One has to have the association of devotees. That is the only way to get devotion. Bhaktya sanjayate bhakti. And Prabhupada writes a very important line there. However, one needs the association of pure devotee. For only by a pure devotee's association can one become a pure devotee. And then Prabhupada writes, when one comes to the stage of pure devotional service, the process of Shravanam Kirtanam is very essential. Now the interesting point is, when one comes to pure devotional service, then Shravanam Kirtanam is essential. We thought Shravanam Kirtanam is needed to reach pure devotional service. So it looks contradictory. So what does it mean? Basically, by Having reaching the pure devotional service means having that pure faith that Krishna Bhakti is the only way. That does not mean one gets purified at that stage. Pure stage means the faith becomes pure, that this is the only way. And then at that stage of pure devotion, one needs to water that seed of devotion by Shravana Kirtana. Shravana Kirtana Jale Karai Sinchan. So that is what Srila Prabhupada is writing here. And by executing this, Navvidha Bhakti, one becomes completely purified. And then that pure devotional service, which is attained through association of pure devotees, gives rise to love of God. So only a devotee can bring one to a level of pure devotion. One gets pure faith only by associating with devotees who have that pure faith. Prabhupada writes, in every revealed scripture, whether stressing Jnana Kand or Karma Kand, the principle of renunciation is always praised. Without developing renunciation, without offering the results to Krishna, one will not get the result of karma or jnana or even yoga. Naishkarmyamapyachyuta bhava varjitam na shobhate jnanamalam niranjanam kutah punassa shvadabhadram ishvare kim charpitam yadapya karanam. Naishkarmya means if somebody is offering all the results but doesn't know who is Krishna. Achyuta bhava varjitam. If he's not offering the results to Krishna, na shobhate, it doesn't look good. If somebody is cultivating jnana and is not offering the results to Krishna, is not developing jnana about the Lord, Bhagavan, it is like beating the empty husks of rice. It will not give anything. Only hard labor. Shreya sritim bhakti mudasyate vibho klishyanti ye kevala bodha labdaye tesham asau kleshal eva shishyate nanyad yatha sthula tushava ghatinam. It is like beating the empty husks of rice. Nothing will come out. So whatever we are practicing, if we are not offering to Krishna, it is shrameva hi kevalam. And then Mahaprabhu quotes another two verses from Bhagavatam 11:32 and then Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Agya evam gunan doshan maya dishtan api swakan dharman santyajya sarvan mam bhajet sacha sattamaha. Agya evam gunan doshan. If one analyzes the faults and the qualities of all the occupational duties which are mentioned in the scriptures, Maya Dishtan, these occupational duties are given by me only. Because ultimately Vedic scriptures are given by the Lord. So after analyzing the good and the bad things of all the occupational duties, Dharman Santyajya, if one gives up all those occupational duties, that person is the best. After giving all occupational duties, giving up, one worships me, Mam Bhajit. जो मेरा भजन कर रहा है, he is the supreme, he is the best. Satu Sattamaha, Sacha Sattamaha. So therefore, all the occupational duties, they are not so much of importance. The prime importance is either you are serving Krishna or not. That is very important. त्यक्त्वा स्वधर्मं चरणाम्बुजं हरे भजन पक्को अथपते ततो यदि यत्र को अभद्रम. If somebody gives up his occupational duties and is practicing bhakti But because of his previous conditionings, he can't practice bhakti also and he falls down. What is the loss? Tattva sadharmam charanam bhujam hare bhajan napakwa athapate tato yadi yatra kvava abhadram abhuda mushrikim kovarth apto abhajatam swadharmata. But if somebody is practicing his own occupational duty very nicely, but is not worshipping Krishna, what is a big thing? What is a benefit? It is all waste. So therefore, varnashram is not recommended. Ultimately, sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam praja. Ultimately, one has to give up all the occupational duties and surrender to Krishna. And then he quotes another verse, 11:29. 11th chapter, 11th canto, 20th chapter, 9th verse. तावत् कर्माणि कुर्वीत न निर्विद्येते यावता मत्कथा श्रवणादो वा श्रद्धा यावन्न जायते. Till when you should practice varnashram? Till the time you don't develop faith. Matkatha shravanado va shraddha yavanna jayate. Till the time you have not developed that pure faith in the name, form, pastimes of the Lord, you have to practice varnashram. After one develops love, this pure faith, varnashram is not required. That is a clear instruction by Mahaprabhu. So after condemning karma, then Mahaprabhu condemns liberation. A devotee, he rejects all these 5 kinds of liberation if there is no seva. Ultimately, seva is important for a devotee, not liberation. He quotes the words from Kapiladev, Salukya, Sarishti, Samipya, Sarupya, Aikatvam, Apyuta, Diyamanam na grihnanti vinamat sevanam janaha. All these 5 kinds of liberation, residing the same planet as the Lord, staying in close association of the Lord, having the same opulences as the Lord, same bodily features as the Lord. And the 5th is merging in the Lord. Actually, 5th is not in question at all. But even the other 4 are not desired by the devotee if there is no seva. Diyamanam na grihnanti vina mat sevanam jana. And then Mahaprabhu quotes a verse from the 5th canto. Bharat Maharaj. He was the king of the whole planet. He had best of everything. Beautiful wives, obedient children, a very flourishing kingdom, obedient citizens, lots of property, wealth, everything he had. All those things which are very difficult to give up. Yo dustyajan shiti sutta swajanartha daran prarthyam shriyam suravarai sadayavaloka. All these things are difficult to give up. But Bharat Maharaj, he gave up all that. All these things are even desired by Devatas. Bharat Maharaj gave up all that. Because for a pure devotee, even liberation is insignificant. What to speak of the pleasures of the world? So that is the conclusion. A devotee is not interested in anything of this world, even liberation. Then what to speak of this world? So that's how Mahaprabhu condemns. What is this mukti? Mukti is insignificant. Devotee is not interested in mukti. Narayan para sarve nakuthishyan vibhyati swarga aporga narkeshu api tulyartha darshanam. A devotee of the Lord, for him, hell, heaven, or even mukti is all same. Seva nahi hai, I'll not go there. Wherever you keep me, my Lord, I'll stay there. But please give me your remembrance. That is a devotee. Mukti karma dui vastu tyaje bhaktagan sei dui sthapatumi sadhya sadhan. Now Mahaprabhu is very strong. He's telling, for a devotee, mukti and karma, they are all condemned. No devotee will like mukti and karma. And you are establishing mukti and karma as sadhya and the sadhan? How is this? You are making fun of me? You are playing with me in a duplicitous way just because I am a simple mendicant, sannyasi? Why are you cheating me? You have actually not described the ultimate objective and ultimate sadhana. So Mahaprabhu was very strong. After hearing all this from Mahaprabhu, the Acharya of the Tattvadis was really shocked and ashamed. He was struck with wonder, seeing such a faith of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Acharya kahe tumi yai kahaste satya hoy, sarva shastre vaishnavera ei shunishchay. He accepted the conclusions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tumi yai kaha sei satya hoy. Whatever you are saying is truth. In fact, that is the verdict of all the scriptures. But still, whatever Madhvacharya established for our monastery, we are following that. Prabhu kahe karma jnani dui bhaktihin, tomara sampradaye dekhi se dui chinna. Again, Mahaprabhu is strong. He says, karmi and jnanis, they are bhaktihin. Because karmis are interested in sense gratification and jnanis are interested in liberation. I can see both of these tendencies in your sampradaya. There's only one good thing I have seen in your sampradaya. Sab ek guna dekhi tomar sampradaye satya vigraha kari ishwar koraha nishchay. You are accepting the archa vigraha of the Lord as truth. That is the only good thing I am seeing in your sampradaya. So that's how Prabhupada writes, general behavior of the Satyavadis is not favoring pure devotional service. They focus more on varnashram and liberation. That is not pure devotional service. So therefore, as far as fruitive activity is concerned, the contamination is desire for liberation. As far as speculative knowledge is concerned, contamination is desire to merge in liberation, merge in Brahman. They are all contaminations. So Mahaprabhu is not interested in any of that. So that's how Mahaprabhu defeated these Tattvadis, established the principles of pure devotional service, and then moved on. So we'll stop here. We'll continue next time. Hare Krishna. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.